Alrighty, what's going on, guys? Edward here, back with another video. Appreciate you being here, and it's good to see your smiley faces one more time. Thank you for watching. And today I want to show you how I traded CPI today on Nasdaq using ICT Concepts, and I'm going to show you here that I should have walked away on the first shot, on the first opportunity that I took. However, because the entry was early and I normally go live with my students, is actually probably 10, 15 minutes before the stock exchange, since CPI report came out at 8:30. I did trade that move. I did call that move beautiful. I could have called it a day, but I decided to, because I'm a mentor, I'm a teacher, to still go live with my students. So I was saying, no, I'm not going to get tempted to get in, but I did get tempted. And I'm going to show you anyways. This is how my week is going so far. I had the win, I had the partial, and the pretty much the position where I ended up just counting losses. And I'm going to show you everything here. Starting, of course, with the earliest position this morning right here. It was with the CPI. And I want to bring you back here to show you what I was actually seeing. Let me see if I can clean all this stuff right now, because there's too much thing going on the chart. Hold on. Let's clean all of this actually. There we go. Clean this. Even this alert right here. All right, so let's go back to New York right here. So look at this. When I woke up this morning, I go into the charts. I remember the first time frame I was actually, like, it was the 1 hour time frame. And I saw, let me put this by side here, right there. So I saw this on a 1 hour. I'm telling you, I've been saying pretty much the whole week, like, we have like all these lows right there. It's just making me think that we will eventually run through these lows. And I was thinking that probably CPI would do that, However, just looking at what's going on, especially in this area, I'm already seeing something. And I told my guys, my students on Telegram, that this is what I was seeing. If you look here, we created a low, a high, lower low, and then higher high. And this is happening, of course, during Asian session and London session. I don't trade London. That was a change in the state of delivery right there. Let me bring it down to this point. There we go. Right there. Notice how price, it's already tapping this one bullish fair value gap right here. We are potentially in discount already if we use the Fibonacci from this low to this high. So by seeing that in this breaker, also, you see that we have a breaker even on top of the fair value gap. So this is basically a unicorn. What we're seeing right now, it's a 1 hour unicorn. So I kind of like that. And I would like to see expansion probably during New York towards this high. I was thinking probably that volatility, that momentum would have been given by the CPI, once the CPI report comes out. So I go lower time frame, and let me show you. Let me bring it back down to 5. And let's wait for New York. This is what it was actually happening during London. Notice that during the London session, we manipulated one more time right here. We entered on that breaker, We could have traded, if we wanted to trade, we could have traded that inversion fair value gap right here, this bearish fair value gap breaking above. This would have been an entry model right there, entering with this candle, placing the stop loss below, targeting highs, or this high right there. But again, I don't trade London. So right about this area, it was right about this area, and I was like, yeah, I know I don't trade London. I'm gonna go ahead. Let me show you here. I'll show you the Telegram. There you go. And this was actually quite early, you see. And normally I don't trade. I try to avoid, but because the CPI, I'm already getting a setup. I'm starting to get a setup. So especially in this area, after getting that push, the price pulling back, I was entering on the 15-minute time frame, that inversion fair value gap. As soon as this candle was closing, this candle was starting to form. It was back and forth, back and forth. I decided to take the shot right there. So that, what time was that? Let me bring it back because I want you guys to see it. What time was that? 7:54. So it was still London. It was still London session. Let's bring it to the 15. Here we go. It was still London. This is the fair value gap. It got broken 50%. And with this candle, I was taking the shot, placing my stop below the swing. So notice what happened. Of course, I knew we were going to have crazy volatility as soon as CPI would come out. My initial target was right here. And I was also using Fibonacci from the low to the high of this manipulation leg right there. So that would have been the final TP. So notice, of course, let me wait. We had a big ass push, like right. Hold on. Right at 8. Look at this. We got a big volatility. I don't know what was happening. I don't know if it was just manipulation, but we dropped and then we skyrocketed almost. It was this move as the price was pushing. Let me take you to the 1 minute right here. Look at that. So as the price was pushing, I was like, damn it, this thing is probably going to skyrocket already. It's not even 8:30. You see, look at the time. It's 8:05, 8:04, by the way. So I don't know what caused that volatility. The price actually started moving very, very aggressive. And I was like, oh, shit, if this is how it is acting right now, I can't imagine once the CPI comes out. So anyways, after that, you got that spike right there at 8:30. So that was a quick one. And I really wanted to just simply walk away. I made around $500 on that push. After that, I went live on Discord with my team. And let me show you here. Oh, basically, it was actually, hang on. It was this move. Yeah, I'm going to need to. I'm going to need to delete this. So this is the part. So after this push, after this big push to the upside, right? I marked up the 50% of this imbalance, right? And I wanted to see what price would do when it pulls back and it taps that zone. I wanted to know if we were going to have some sort of reaction here, so I can go lower time frame and find an entry, so to continue going long. So my intention now was to target this high. Now that we have, going back to probably discount, going back to down to this area, and this is what was happening. What time was this? 9:04. So I'm waiting for the stocks to open. And notice that we ranged. We started ranging from here. Got a big ass range, an accumulation. And I was trying to use here what is known as market maker model. Got another accumulation here, right? So let's wait for, there we go, right there. So notice that first volatility, 930, right? We're starting to manipulate. Price goes a lot deeper, right, into this imbalance right here. So however, I'm still kind of waiting for some sort of formation pattern, right? Because I do kind of want to target this highs, right? I'm not bearish at all. I'm not bearish at all. I'm seeing more potential buys coming in. So with this formation, price takes this low one more time, and I'm like, okay, well, we do have a bearish order block right here. If we break this to the upside, this could be our chance, right? We could have a potential. Look at that. So now for me, that is turning into a breaker block. And now we have a potential right there, changing the state of delivery. It didn't close with much volume right there. That's something I hated. But anyways, I was taking another opportunity here. I was buying, and as you can see, let me bring it. And I think it was this one right here. See that I was entering in that push. I placed my stop loss just below, and as soon as I entered, immediately the prices started going against me, disrespecting the breaker again, just trying to close below. And I'm like, Bowie, this is it. This is not going to play out. So when I realized that, I just happened to close my position. My chances of winning this trade are very low, very low. So anyways, that did not play out. That move right there, that little was just an inducement right there. So it was a little trap. So anyways, after that, first little one, again, notice that the price from here, now that we are at the bottom, notice this last fair value gap, again, gets broken to the upside. Now I know right now that because it's starting to fail, it's looking odd. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely not my favorite type of thing. It's looking like price is already, after taking this highs with CPI, price is already looking very weak. And I don't know, I'm starting to see now this lows like more attractive. I'm thinking that price will probably reverse eventually. So anyways, I went to the 1 minute, right? And I was waiting, and I was actually live with my team. I decided to take an entry it was a little late. Let me just show you the actual trade right there. You see, in this actual, I could have entered probably there, but I don't know. I was not ready. I wanted to see a little bit more volume, more momentum. So price did continue pushing. This was the change in the state of delivery right there on the 1 minute. So I took that buy somewhere in this area, right? And then, well, you see what price did. It was actually going up, but in a very slow way. Look at the size of the candles. There is no volume. So when you definitely see this is weak. This is telling me, for me, this is not a good sign. Even though it's still going on my bias, I hate when it gets like this because there's no volume. It looks like who's moving the markets right now. It's like retail trading only. There is no big institutions, and there's no really big money into this. So what happened after that? Pretty much price came back to my break-even point really quick right there, got me on break-even. So my entry was somewhere here and immediately came back on break-even. I was able to secure a little bit of profits, but my entry was looking like this, and it was somewhere there. So I kind of wanted to go higher. And then I think I was trailing. I decided to trail the stop anyways, but I was out on break even right there. And I didn't enter. After that, I just didn't enter. Notice what happened after that. Notice that the momentum that we are actually seeing is to the downside. Notice price is trying to push, but in a very slow way, very, very slow way. There is no momentum. If this high definitely was supposed to be taken, this would have been run through just like that. with a lot of momentum. So we started to show that nope, sellers are actually in control. They're still in control. So most likely, I was thinking that most likely these lows are going to get taken. So after I got stopped out on break even right there, I was just you know, I didn't continue watching. I was just out. So notice that it got very tricky right there. After this low, price swept this low one more time, and then in probably inducing people or just getting people to go long again, when boom and failing, and it did end up actually taking this lows. So now the day is over. Now we're into Asian session right now on the next candle formation. So if we take a look at the daily, look at how the daily candle closed, right? We did create a new high, right? We're still kind of creating highs, but it's looking a little weak right now. So this candle is telling me that we're probably going to be bearish for tomorrow, for the next couple hours, and expecting this daily low right there to be taken. And you see all of these lows? I'm going to tell you right here. Look at this. You see, look at this strong momentum candles right there, right on the 1 hour. On the 4 hour, well, not too big, but I think we're going for this, and you can take notes, guys. I think we're going for all of these lows. I think we're going to run through those lows right there. So hope it makes sense. Trading CPI is really not easy, and you have to be more careful than usual, and you should be trading. If you want to be trading, you should be trading small lot size, using small lot size. It is very important, because I feel like when I trade CPI, I really feel like gambling. But if you still have a good plan, you have a good setup, and you trust in your setup, you can take it. But because the CPI, don't be looking to flip your account. Don't be looking to make you know thousands more. So just go easy, and yeah, don't go greedy. So yeah, sometimes it's just silly. So anyways, hope it makes sense, guys. This was pretty much what we did today with the CPI report. This has been our week so far. Let's see what's going to happen now tomorrow with the next fundamentals. If you want to be part of my team, just go ahead and check out my website, teamprofitsenglish.com. I do offer a lifetime mentorship program for a one-time payment. It's a one-time payment, and you're part of my team forever. What do you get with that? You get my course. It's all based on ICT and SNC, okay? And you do get access to my team, where pretty much I share the link here. I go live on Zoom or Discord. Lately, I've been actually going on Discord, so my students can actually see me trade live, which is very, very important. I think you guys actually learn a lot more than just copying trades. So I hope it makes sense. If you're interested, just go ahead and check it out. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.